up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. You already know I'm your host, Dustin Singer Actor Lewis. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all of the reality TV tea, but it's absolutely what you want and it's always what you need, baby. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Listen. Before we dive on in, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share the family member, share with a friend, so we can grow our community over here, baby. Share it to the person next to you in the cubicle. Everybody can get into the Singing the Tea. Send it to the CEO. Send it to the AVP. Baby. Send it to everybody. I was going to say send it to the president, but not of the company. Okay? And we just going to move on to the thing. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. The first episode, I was excited. This episode, it was okay. I'm going to need something. I don't know what that something is, but this group just seems so divided. So we're gonna have to pick it on up. We're gonna have to pick it on up, and we're gonna have to dive into things. So to me, the episode truly opened up when it comes to Fedra and Aiden. You know, he was driving to school or whatever, and you know what? When they showed that clip of her when he was little, she was taking him to daycare or first grade, and then we see him now driving. Y'all, it's so heartwarming. It's so touching to be able to, and honestly, it's such a blessing too for them to be able to look back and to see everything that see him grow up. Like, that's something that he can look back at and be like, you know what? This is what I've been a part of. So that's an amazing thing. So shout out to them. Shout out to Fedra and Apollo for allowing us to be a part of their children's lives. Now, one thing I will say, Fedra, you didn't have to throw Apollo no shade. Apollo's over there minding his business. You didn't have to say that Aiden is Apollo's driver because Apollo be out there drunk. You didn't have to put that out there. Fedra, you could have kept that inside. You didn't have to do that man like that. Apollo is over there minding his business. He over there trying to run businesses or whatever he got going. I don't know what the man got going on. Don't let him try to speak on him allegedly. I don't know nothing about the man. But Apollo got stuff going on. I feel like my camera angle's a little off. I don't know. It look dark over here too. I don't know. But we're going to be into it. I look good though. So that's we on point with that. So it was a little unnecessary, Fedra, but you know what? That's all right. So, baby, we get right on into it. So, we see Porsha, Kelly, and K. Michelle sitting down and have a little piece of tea. Baby, them tea things was so bedazzled and Judah. I had two people, y'all got some plain ones back here because I would hate to be drinking my tea and I done swallow one of these gemstones or whatever it is that y'all got this thing bedazzled with. Because when y'all pour that hot tea up in there, ain't it going to warm that glue, that seal and all this stuff? That's too much. Just give me a regular tea kettle. Y'all ain't got to bedazzle and bejewel everything. People get them a little bedazzler and they just feel like they gotta paint the whole town redhead. That's first of all, this my girl here. I'm gonna go ahead and give my girl a shout out. Shout out to my girl KT, because listen, let me tell you something about people who bedazzle. I was talking to her today at work. I said, girl, you bedazzled them glasses, didn't it? She said, yeah, I did. But I tell y'all, my friend gonna bedazzle it. If it can be bedazzled, she gonna definitely bedazzle it. Shout out to her. Anyway. So back to these housewives. So they sit down for tea. It's nice to see them. I'm excited to see them come together. I do feel like K. Michelle being there was a little weird. But I mean, she's a cast member, so it's fine. But like, K. Michelle doesn't really know any or understand anything with their drama because she wasn't there last season. So I do think that was a little off. That was a little weird. I think it should have been somebody else, like maybe Angela or Cynthia would have been a better person to be in that scene. But K. Michelle was there. Love K. No, nothing against K. It just didn't really make sense for that drama. So, and they talk about that friction, and it even doesn't make sense too, because K was like, why am I here? Like in her confessional, she says, why am I here for this? Like, why is this lady bringing up this stuff about Kelly? So they get into it, and you can tell there has been some friction between the two of them. Not quite sure why, because they do have some similarities when it comes to the way that their divorces happen. I know Kelly talks about last year at the reunion, she was like, girl, I was married for years, you were married for a couple of months. I understand that, but at the base, it's still a similar situation. Like, yeah, you were in it for longer. I wasn't in it for as much time, but we still were dealing with some situations that were similar. So they talk about it, and Porsha essentially feels like Kelly, when it came to the breakup of the friendship between Shamia and Porsha feels like Kelly more so leaned towards Shamia's side. And I can kind of agree. Which I'll say this. Kelly, if you did, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think that you do owe Porsha the room or the space for y'all to become friends. Here's the thing with these two, and I'm just thinking about this. Hope I don't get too lost before I go to my notes. Their friendship, Porsha and Kelly, they are never going to really be friends like that as long as she's as close as she is with Shamia. It's just impossible. It's not going to happen. It can't. It can't happen. It's not going to happen, and it can't happen. But, you know, Porsha and, you know, K. Michelle talks about Black DMing her. That was some tea. That was just, girl, you married now, so it don't matter no way. But that was funny that he DM'd you. But back to the Porsha and Kelly of it all. With Porsha and Kelly, you know, Porsha said that, you know, she kind of felt away because she didn't understand why they had friction. Felt like she more so leaned towards the Shamia side. And she said she was hurt when she found out that Kelly was talking about her in a confessional. Okay, cool. She was talking about her, well, not on the confessional, the after show. Cool, right? It happens. So, Porsha, here's where I'm a little confused with you. And I love Porsha. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Kelly. I like Kelly more so last season. The reunion and this season, it's only 2 episodes in. But Kelly, so far, I'm not feeling her as much as I did. But in this situation, Porsha, what you were saying about this girl allegedly being with a married man, and then her in the bed after they did what they did, she brought up you and Dennis, and the person texts you. No, the person didn't even text you. The person texted somebody that you were with that told you about this whole situation. So it doesn't make sense. And I don't really think it's true because when Porsha was in her confessional saying, oh, I'm the receipt, that's when I knew, girl. Porsha, one thing about Porsha, baby, she don't care who tell a lie, baby. She do not care nothing about it. And Porsha, it just didn't make sense. I know your tongue is sore from them lie bumps that you be telling. Because you will tell a lie. It just didn't make sense, Porsha. Like, and let's say the lady did. So, you did too. And I guess you were trying to, like, be, I think the thing with Porsha, here's the thing. If you would have sat there and you would have said, here's the thing, Kelly. You were talking about me being with married men. Yeah, girl, I did it. If you would have been like yeah, girl, he wasn't married when I got with him, but, you know, I know it looks suspect because when I first met the man, he was married. Me and the girl was on the show together. Break the fourth wall and talk about it. Put it to bed because that will end it. If you just talk about it and be like, yeah, girl, I met the man when he was with his wife at the house that he had. He left her, met him on the show. Me and him met later. We chopped it up, got married. It is what it is. I ain't with the man no more. However, you, have been with married men. See, if you do something like that, you can really eat her up. You got to own your tea, Porsha. You got to own it. And, like, I don't think that Kelly is out there doing that. I can tell Kelly was bothered by the situation. And I can tell that K. Michelle was uncomfortable. Like, it just was weird and it didn't make sense. And Porsha, you were like, well, yeah, I did make it awkward, so I apologize for that. And then you try to be cute after. Y'all hug it out and y'all seem cool. Which, Kelly, I got a little piece for you later. Because at the end of the scene, y'all did seem like y'all was cool. But we know deep down y'all ain't gonna be cool. You can't come at somebody and say, oh, I know you sleep with married men and think that me and you gonna hug and be cool the next day. Absolutely not, girl. So, Porsha, for you to even think that you and this girl was gonna be cool, Porsha, you wanted to get your lick back. That's all it was. You mad at Kelly. You wanted to get your lick back for what she said. And that's what it is. It's gonna be. And that's what it is. But child, y'all ain't gonna make up. That ain't happening. Y'all definitely finna be beefing for some time. So we pull up to Pinky house. Pinky has a nice house. It's cute. Nothing extravagant. It's cute. It's a nice house. I'm not trying to be shady, but that is a nice house. Anyway. So, we get to know a little bit more about her husband, and her family. I didn't know Pinky personally, like anything about her a whole lot. I just know more so the business side of Pinky, which she's a phenomenal businesswoman. I didn't realize Pinky said, baby, I was pregnant 3 months after meeting my husband. She said, don't follow my footsteps with that. But, you know, they seem to have a beautiful marriage. They seem to be very, very into each other. Her mom comes out and she was talking about some, mom, what you don't even know is, because they were talking about having more kids. Her mom was like, baby, hell to the no. You do not need no more children. And I agree. Y'all got about a whole football team over there now. And you got the nerve to try to scare your mama saying, Grace wanted here already. Baby, she said, no, baby. You don't need no more kids. So that was funny. And I do agree with that girl. You don't need no more. Y'all got a football team. Y'all got a whole lot already. You don't need no more kids. So we talk about her starting her Slutty Vegan and losing the company. I do remember something about that in the news with her losing the company, but I didn't realize she bought it back in 43 days. So shout out to her for doing that. I think it was $20 million that she was in the hole or whatever in debt for it. So I'm proud of her for being a black woman to create the company and the name and just the whole franchise. That's a huge, huge, huge thing that she's done. And she had a minor setback, got it back, and she's on the up and up. So we're going to keep her lifted. We want her to be successful because I love what she does with Slutty Vegan. There's a food truck that comes down here where I'm at, a Slutty Vegan food truck. I have not been to it yet. I need to try it, but I only heard good things about Slutty Vegan. So shout out to her. Now, something that I also thought was really, really cool was that her husband, he has his own Big Dave's cheesesteak. So shout out to that. So he's doing big things. They're a great couple. I like them. Now, seeing her break down a little bit later when she talks about her going through what she went through and, you know, her being more so an alpha woman, I think that was part of the reason why she kind of felt like, you know, she was in it by herself, even though her husband was laying by her. I feel like when we're strong individuals, we sometimes, and it could be something that's not even intentional. Sometimes when we're strong individuals, we will hide our emotions and we don't want people to see us weak. And I think you wanted your husband to recognize that you were having a moment. I think he tried to show up for you the best way that he could. But I think that for strong people, I'm one as well. When you are one of those stronger people that a lot of people do tend to lean on, it's harder for you to allow others to lean, for you to lean on others, or for others to be open for them to lean on you, if that makes sense. It can be a little difficult. So, girl, therapy. Therapy, that's all I can say. Don't go to therapy. I was going to be shady. I was going to talk about somebody. Don't go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. But I like them as a couple. I really, really do. They are really cute. All right, so we see our next scene, which is our girl K Michelle. Y'all know I love me some K Michelle. I've added VSOP back to my workout thing. So playlist, love me some K. So her house was cute too. The one thing I would say about a lot of the houses that I've been seeing, they seem like just practical houses. It's not that they're not beautiful homes. It's just like compared to like Shamia's home, honestly Porsha's home. Those only two. Never mind. Let me just go on because I feel like I'm making it worse. I was trying to clean it up. I was trying to make it a thing, and I'm still shading the people. So I'm gonna just move on to the next topic. So we see K Michelle, and you know she's moving into her house, and we see her and her husband Caston. You know he's moving up to Georgia with her as well because he's based out of Memphis, but he has to get his license transferred or apply for a license in Georgia so he can practice being a dentist there as well. So shout out to that. Black man doing great things. She talks about wanting a baby. She has a son that's 21. Kay, I don't think you need no baby. I just don't think you need no baby. You know, you and Caston were talking about like, you know, you and him were together for 10 years. You know, they broke up. You know, you went on dating shows, did all that good stuff, and y'all got back together. I will say this. I've seen y'all in other spaces and other dating shows. So, I mean, y'all been doing this for a while. So, I don't think it's fake. I do think that y'all's relationship is... Something seems a little off with y'all's communication on here. And I just wish... I don't know if it's the cameras make y'all feel a little uncomfortable. I don't know. It's something about y'all just seem a little uncomfortable. And I just want y'all to feel a little bit more settled in whatever it is that y'all have going on. If y'all have a non-traditional relationship, cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I do want y'all to get settled and be back in it's something just seems off. I don't know what it is, but something seems a little off to me with y'all's relationship. Ain't none of my business, but yeah, I would just like to see y'all a little bit more lovey-dovey or see just more of a connection. Because y'all seem to be just good friends, which there's, once again, nothing wrong with that. So, hey. So the next thing we see, child, we see Shamia, Kelly, and Angela. I love me some Angela. Shamia, Kelly, and Angela meeting up to go shopping. And child, by the end of this, I was like, Kelly, you put everything back, girl, because all this money you talking about you had to pay back. and you owed $100K for the restaurant, you paid $50, you can't go shopping right now. And honestly, put that dog up for sale too, baby. Somebody will buy that colorful dog, put it up, say it's mixed with rainbow leopard or something, and you can make a nice coin off of that dog, baby. You need to start selling stuff, girl, because we need these restaurants. Nana chickens and waffles need to be popping up. You don't need to owe nobody nothing. Go ahead and pay them restaurants off. But you know, Shamia asked Kelly, you know, what's going on, because she like, girl, you all right? You seem a little under the weather. You seem unrested. What's going on? And she's like, girl, my ex, he did an interview with Tasha K. I don't know nothing about that lifestyle. I don't live that lifestyle. Everything over here is alleged. Okay? So she did an interview. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't even want to even talk about it. I'm scared to even say the lady name. But, you know, she talks about that. So Kelly's a little bothered. So they start catching up. So Shamia asked Angela. She's like, Angela, you know, hey girl, how are you feeling about Drew and the whole Fedra situation? And Angela was like, I'm processing everything. Everything is cool. And Shamia, it truly does come off like you just want Angela to have some smoke with Drew. And Shamia, I want you to know this. It's not going to happen. Shamia, the thing is what you are wanting people to do. You are wanting people to make the mistake that you made last season with you and Porsha. People ain't falling for that because people are smarter. They realize that they're on camera, so they're not going to say everything. Or if they do say something, they know they can say it to somebody that's a trusted source. You now know you can do that with Kelly. She can do that with Drew. Porsha can do that with Fedra. Even though we know Fedra will lie in a minute, they both be lying. Allegedly, so they can go over there and talk with each other. So, Shamia, the issue was for you were just running your mouth about this girl and they got back to her one too many times. That was the issue with you. So you just got to own it. Leave it alone. Don't try to be messy. Don't try to cause any issues between anybody else. Move on and move forward. So, you know, Kelly fills the ladies in on the dinner or the tea party, whatever they had with all them bedazzled teapots. She lets them know about the meeting that she had with K. Michelle and Porsha. Child, she got to letting the people know that Porsha had called her out for allegedly being with a married man. I will say this. Kelly, when you were talking to them, you had a lot of smoke. You had a lot of smoke for Porsha. When you left the situation for Porsha, you made it seem like y'all was cool. If you said it, you're going to have to stand on it. Don't sit up here and act like you cool with the girl, but then you're going to be passive-aggressive behind her back, and then later you're going to be passive-aggressive with her on the phone. Kelly wasn't cool. Now, I'm agree with you. I think what Porsha said was wrong. It was uncalled for. She didn't even have to go there. Because I don't think anybody believes it. We just don't. We just don't. But you ain't have to be passive-aggressive, because you're going to say it to the girl behind her back, say it to her face. But we know Miss P, like Shamia said, girl, you had to de-escalate the situation because we know Porsha. Okay? Porsha will knuck if you buck in a minute, baby. Porsha done been in too many tussles. And won't even see her no more. Porsha is grown. Excuse me. Porsha is grown. She's doing better with herself. She opened up the floodgates to dating, and we see her doing well. So, speaking of Porsha, we're going to move on to the next thing. Oh, Kelly is having her Anana's chicken and waffle, and she said she will invite Porsha, but she said Porsha got to pay for her own chicken and waffles, which I ain't mad at it. Kelly, honestly, everybody need to pay. You ain't got it in the books to be feeding everybody chicken wings. Chicken wings are already expensive. Maybe you have some thighs and some legs. You get them some thighs and legs, maybe you can get that to them for free, some drumsticks. But you can't give them no wings. Wings is too high. Wings is too high for you to get them wings. Not even especially no drumettes. And wingettes, absolutely not. They can get a thigh and a leg. Or they can get 2 legs, but that's it. That's all we can afford to give them, girl. Alright. So next we move on to the Drew movie premiere. I'm going to be real with y'all. I seen that movie premiere come up, the trailer for it. I didn't know Drew was in that movie. I did not know Claudia. I don't think I knew Claudia was in that movie either. But I've seen clips of it, but I didn't realize that they was in the movie. Shout out to them. Good to see Claudia Jordan. I love me some Claudia Jordan. Love Claudia Jordan. Shout out to Claudia Jordan. We love her over here. We always gonna love us some good old Claudia Jordan. So The first ladies we see making it to the event were Angela and Fedra. Okay, they have a little conversation, which I enjoyed. And I'm glad that they talked about it so we can move forward. You know, Angela just asked her, like, hey, girl, I wasn't expecting you to be here, but I just want to just, hey, did you ask the dude or whatever? Did you bring the people to come up here and talk to me and say something about my husband? Fedra just flat out says, girl, no, I didn't do that. Angela apologizes for accusing her, and they able to move forward. So I love that Angela's just like, you know what? I'm not finna sit up here and focus on this one situation. I need to move forward. I need to let this go for my own healing, and that's what I'm talking about, Angela. Good job on that. So they're good to go. So, you know, we see our girl, Miss Porsha, pulls up. Miss P, she got it. And listen, Porsha pulls up with her flavor of the week. She pulled up with this beautiful goddess. I don't know. Porsha pulled up with Sway. Sway looks good. Sway is a very handsome woman. Sway is beautiful. Listen, when Porsha had said she the Christopher Columbus, you know, she exploring uncharted waters. Girl, you trying to pillage and plunder through every village. You need to calm down, Porsha. Save some for the rest of us, okay? You done ran through the straight men's. Now you coming over here to the lesbians. Don't come over here to the ladies, to the gays. Baby, it ain't enough out here for us. Don't try to come over here to our side. You stay over there, okay? Now we're gonna allow you to be a lesbian this week, but next week don't try to be a gay. You stay over there. We don't want no problems. We love you, Miss P. We support you. You are an ally. We support you. You support us. We are the people. We the people. But girl, listen. You Christmas Columbus or Christopher Columbus, whatever the man's name is, you do that over there. You go to waters that you done, baby. You go over there, swim up the waters and lakes that you used to, girl, because we ain't got time. All right. But nah, seriously though, I do like to see that. Porsha is such a free spirit, and I really, really enjoy her, and I'm glad that she's open. Like she said, child, we all knew Porsha was over there dipping her toes in the lady pond. She just decided to go ahead and dip more than her toe this go around, but we love to see it. And you know what, Drew? Hey, there's room out here for everybody, Drew. If you want to decide that you want to take a swim or dip a toe or whatever it was that you allegedly did, if you want to come on back, the legitimate quad, the LGBTQIA+, we are welcoming. We love people. You don't even got to refill out your application for entry. We'll let you in. You don't got to worry about no dues. Application fees right now are free. We'll probably start charging when we get to Pride Month. But girl, welcome on back. Whenever you want to come on back, we'll love to have you. So thank you so much. So, you know, Angela said, you know what? Since me and Fedra are cool and we ain't got Sheree no more, let me go ahead and get it started. Baby, Angela had said, girl, Fedra, you girl, I was with Kelly and Shamir the other day. Girl, can you believe that Kelly had told me that Porsha and her got into it? So Porsha walked up and said, girl, what? Me and her, we got into it. I mean, yeah, we had a few words. You know, I said something, but we cool. Me and her hugged it out. We good. Baby, Angela said, y'all must not be too good because the girl said that you was a Porsha. She said you was a whore, honey, allegedly. That's what she said, Porsha. And listen, Porsha, you knew you and that lady wasn't cool after you said that lady allegedly slept with married men. You know that, Porsha. So don't be sitting up here trying to act like you... Porsha, you just wanted to be mad at somebody. Porsha said, I need to fight with somebody this season, so let me get it started with Kelly. Why not? She said, I'm going to go ahead and get it started with Kelly because she ain't got nothing to do no way. I'm going to get it started with her. So that's what it is, Porsha. And Porsha lets it be known I ain't going to her little party, her little chicken party, no way. The little leg quarter party, I ain't going to that. So she said the waffle lady can stay over there. So Porsha's not going to the waffle party, but that was a cool event. It was cute. And Fedra, you going over there too. We can add you in. You know what, your application won't even require you to have one. You just come on in because you probably gonna fill out the wrong information anyway. So you can just come on into the gates. We'll just let you come over here to the LGBTQIA+ community as well. So welcome in, Porsha. I mean Shamil. Baby, the whole cast of Atlanta, baby, y'all come on, married or not, come on in to the legitimate choir. We welcoming everybody. All right, so they make it to Kelly's restaurant. It is time for her event. Cute event. Let me tell you who was the star of this event. Shamir Mama. Baby, Shamir Mama said, it ain't finna be no fighting, it ain't finna be no arguing, it ain't finna be no carrying on. When y'all get over here, y'all get y'all a plate, y'all sit down, and I don't want to hear no mess. She was all right by me because Drew tried to get it started at first, and she said, baby, go ahead and sit down. You and your bundles, go sit down right over there. I'm going to bring you a plate. That was good to me. Now, Shamia, I got to give you a little piece. You over here mad because the ladies are making up and the ladies are cool. And you like, well, I feel like everybody wanted me to air out myself with Porsha, but I was trying to sweep it under the rug. That's the issue, Shamia. You were trying to sweep it under the rug, but you were talking about the girl behind her back to everybody in the group. So you weren't trying to sweep it under the rug. You were trying to sully the girl's name. Porsha can sully her name on her own. She don't need no help messing up her good name. She don't need no help. You were messing it up because you were trying to portray one way on this TV show for the cameras, and you were trying to be a different way on the side. That was your issue, Shamia. And we just wanted you to air it out because you realistically were still mad at Porsha for the stuff that happened way back on in the day. Which you have every right to be. The issue was you portrayed yourself as being cool and you weren't. That's the issue, Shamia. So you're going to have to roll and you're going to have to let it be. Pinky and Kelly have a little convo. Nothing really there. There was no real issue there. It's just they finally are connecting. That's really all it is. It really wasn't nothing deep. So we see some beautiful flowers pop up. We see a beautiful bouquet of flowers. I really like the arrangement today. It was pretty. And it's from Porsha, and she says, congratulations, lady, on your waffles and chicken and all that, and lips. And, we need to talk, because you got the lips of the South, so we need to talk. And Kelly paying the girl dust. So, Kelly, I'm going to say this. When they call Porsha, because everybody trying to figure out what's going on, Porsha answers, she congratulates you on the phone, but she didn't want to be there because of you having an issue. I can kind of get that. She didn't want to mess up your event. She didn't say this, but she didn't want to mess up your event because y'all have some tension, especially from your side. When you was passive aggressive and you said that they was some broken flowers for a broken person, child, I wasn't expecting that, Kelly. Like, Kelly, that was, oof. Y'all definitely got some issues now. Y'all ain't finna work through it. So y'all can really, really go ahead and get into it. But I'm going to say it again, Kelly. Own it when you talk to her. That's all I'm going to say. You have to own it when you talk to her. So, baby, the event is over and the ladies are walking out. And we see Shamia giving people hugs and Drew giving people hugs. So they come to each other and Shamia was like, girl, I didn't get an invite to your thing. But, congratulations on your premiere. And she's like, well, girl, we weren't really talking, we trying to work through our things, baby. Before they could even get into it, because it was starting to get static. It was getting staticky. Baby, the Holy Ghost, a.k.a. Shamia Mama, had to come down there. She had to come lay hands. She said, baby, y'all want, baby, she put a word. She put a word on them good ladies. She spoke life into them. She spoke life into that moment. And, baby, she had to clear it out. She had to let the people know, absolutely not. We won't be doing this here. This is not right. This is not for the glory of the King. And she was right. She said, y'all ain't gonna be doing this. But Drew had said, well, one more thing, Miss Mama, because I want to have to get because Drew Mama, the Holy Ghost is 3 people, and Shamia Mama 1, Drew Mama 1, and Porsha Mama can't be 1. Maybe Cynthia Mama could be the other Holy Ghost, the Holy Trinity. Because Miss Diane, we love you, girl, but you got too much body to be a part of the body of Christ. That's not the body of Christ. That's the body of Dr. Miami or somebody, girl. That ain't what the Lord talked about in the good book. But anywho, I ain't trying to do too much on the lady mama because I like Miss Diane. They make it to the end. They talk about Shamia apology video one more time, and I'm tired of it. So Shamia said it was genuine. Sure, Shamia, if that's what you want to go with, we'll go with it too, but I'm tired of talking about it. And you shouldn't have done it. Please don't do another one. So they leave the event. They hug it out. Everybody cool. So we get to the end. And, K. Michelle, she performed at, and I think it was Nashville she had to perform at for the event. And, after that, she was rushed to the hospital. She had an open wound and she had an infection. I think it was pretty known. We know K. Michelle had illegal silicone, I think it was, injected in her. She didn't need it. I hate that she got that done. And y'all, I'm going to say this. I hope she gets better from it. I hope that she truly heals from that. But y'all, be careful out here getting that stuff done. When you are going to get these procedures, please don't go to nobody's house and get it done. But when you're going to get these procedures, if you're going out the country, if you're going to a doctor, do your research before you do anything. This is serious. Baby, your life, don't put your life in danger with trying to get a good BBL or get a big old booty. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Everybody ain't blessed like me to be dragging a wagon. You know what I'm saying? So I understand some people got to go get a little help. But I'm telling you, your life is worth more than a big old booty. And that's what we're going to end this episode here. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with a family member, share with a friend. Try to 30 minutes. I ain't thinking we're going to get to it. We're at 30 minutes. But don't forget to comment, like, share with a family member, share with a friend. Hit that subscribe button if you are new over here. But until next time, have a good one, everybody.